am busy in the kitchen today, what I have to do is I gotta go through these tomatoes. I go through them every day, and let me just show you. And this is what I'm finding, I'm looking for. And then I'm just gonna set them on my counter. Next to these tomatoes. These tomatoes are either ready to go in the freezer or eat. I think I'm gonna put this one in the freezer because it's getting too soft yet. So we can have this for sandwiches. But if they're nice and ripe like that, what I do is, before this big frost came, what I did is I harvested all my tomatoes, and then I put them in a bowl or a box or anything that will keep the light off of them when they're really, really green like this, okay? That is straight off the vine. That is not even probably totally developed. It could have gotten a little bit bigger if we had nicer weather, but the frost came and it was, you know, we still have frost and it's gonna be for a couple more days yet. So what I'm doing is that I put these in a big bowl, this steel bowl right here, and anytime they get a little blush on them, like so, I am taking them out and just putting them on my counter. You can put them in a windowsill where you have more light, but it seems like we have enough light in our kitchen that I don't have to worry about it. So I'm taking out all this stuff, and anything that's blushing, either I'm putting on the counter. There's another one down there. That's blushing really good for me. And then I let them ripen all the way. And then either I'll put them in my freezer for processing. Later, we're gonna make some spaghetti sauce because I like to make my own spaghetti sauce because these are organic tomatoes. Organic spaghetti sauce is very expensive, so we like to do our own. And it's not only expensive, it's I can do a lower sodium version, and to find lower sodium versions of spaghetti sauce already made, very expensive. It's like $8 a jar. So I like to make my own, and I'll bring you guys along for that journey when we do it. And so, you know, we're just getting those tomatoes. I don't know if you guys can see this. This one has a tint of color to it, and so I'm taking that out and putting that on. This is a good time to take them out when they have that tint of blush on them. And it seems like when you bring them in the house, like otherwise, you know, outside, you'll get the full or just a little bit of blush on the bottom, and then it seems to come up and give the full tomato color. These usually blush all the way over, so they're pretty easy to find. But let's go hunting. And unfortunately, these tomatoes aren't going to be tasting like vine ripe tomatoes, but they're still pretty good. So unfortunately, but it's better than throwing away tomatoes and wasting them. So every day there's a few tomatoes that are blushing. There's one right there that almost got away from me. You can see it's just got a little yellow on it, and that's probably a yellow tomato. These little ones can really hide from you, but they get color quick in here. Like so. Oops. Nope. Bubba's got a big one in his mouth, a little stinker.
Bubba, what you got there? What you got there? Huh? You got one of my green tomatoes? Are you gonna eat that? Are you gonna eat that?
Okay, so I think that's probably all of them today. Maybe not. A couple little, the little ones can get away from you. And see, you take them out when they're blushing like that. And our dogs eat tomatoes. As you saw there, how quickly he went for that one that dropped on the ground. Little stinker. They love their tomatoes as snacks, and they'll eat them even when they're green. There's a couple more little blushing ones in there. And of course, I get in there to the bottom and I see little sun gold tomato. It's like a little treasure hunt every day. It's kind of fun. Bowl there. Oh, there's another one. Okay, so now I need to get some garlic ready out of their bulbs and make them individual. And I'll take the biggest ones and I'll cut up the smallest ones. So we have a bunch of these, and we'll get going on that. So remember, put them in a bowl or something, a box. Make sure that no light gets to them, and they will turn like this. And then you pull them out, and you'll put this on the counter or in a windowsill, and you'll have a nice ripe tomato in no time, which you can make great sauce, salsa, all kinds of great things with. So let's get started on that garlic, and I'll show you what I do with that. So I have this whole bowl, plus I have another bowl about the same size or bigger in my fridge, because they were starting to get a little really dry, and I probably won't use this one for they can mold after a while if you set them out. So these two garlic cloves right here are probably not any good, but I'm gonna go through these. I'm gonna take the best, the biggest, and put them aside, and then we will grow those. Probably we'll put them in the ground next week already, since we're getting cold temperatures. I kind of wait a little bit longer, but now is the time. So I'm just going to take the paper off. So we're just separating the cloves. But I don't want to put anything like that in the ground. So that is a bad clove. So you want to really make sure that your cloves aren't soft, and you want the paper on them. There's a good clove. So this one is good, and it's nice and big. So I'm going to use that one. You don't want any, you really want to fill those. So as I feel this, there's a little give to it, and if it's got a little give to it, you don't want to use it. It can still be used for cooking, but you don't want to use it for planting another seed, or a seed garlic at all. So So you only want to take about that much paper off, and this is a nice big clove, and it's nice and firm. This will not produce another garlic. So I set this ones aside that either I'm gonna make into a paste or something like that, That one we're not going to use. That one's nice and hard, but it's smaller. That one's nice and hard. This one, you can see the darkness on the outside. And so the rest of those, so this is the perfect size. You can see the difference in size. The bigger, the better garlic head you're gonna get out of it. So this one is kind of small, so I'm not gonna worry about that one. And this one is kind of small, so I'm not gonna worry about that one. So out of that one, I got 3. See, this one, it had a little blemish on there, but I can still use that to cut up and make some more garlic oil or something. So that's why I put a bunch of these in the freezer, because I was noticing that they were starting to change. Oops. That one's still nice and, well, I don't know, it's kind of fragmented. You really feel it, really want to feel it really good. See, because it was a split bulb, it's got a little blemish on it, and so we're gonna go ahead and make that into something else. So we're just preserving the garlic and the stuff that won't stay for next year or won't work in the ground. And so some of these are totally hollowed out like that. So that's throwaway stuff. That's too small to put in the ground. This is a right size, but it doesn't feel right, so we'll save that for preserving. This one is obviously not for preserving, so we'll just toss that. That one would have been fine, but and this one feels soft, too soft. So so that's how you do it. You just go through it, and you're gonna preserve the ones that are nice and big and don't feel squishy. And those are the ones you can plant in your ground. Okay guys, so far I have this pile, and I have some of them that were just rotten all the way. You touch it and look, a bit just goes in like that, even though it was a nice big one. So this is my planting pile, and you can see how they're more uniform. They're a lot more together. They're all nice and hard. And this is the pile that I'm gonna preserve, and I'll show you how I'm gonna do that. But we will wait until we get through all this and see what is preservable and what is planted. Okay guys, so this is gonna be our seed here, and I might have to buy some more at the store. I don't know if that's enough seed for the year. This is what I am gonna break down, and you can see I opened some of them up all the way. Some of them have little scars and they're browning. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take all the skins off of this, cut any like pieces off that are like that, and then we're gonna put them in our Ninja blender and blend them up, and you will see from there what we're gonna do. So here's all our seed garlic. We have a good amount of it, plenty for our family and probably my brother-in-law's family too. The awesome thing about this is the seed garlic that lasted. Most of it's gonna be hardneck. And so when we plant this again, we're gonna know that this is the garlic that lasted the longest. And hopefully it will adapt even more to our soil. Gotta take that one out. I just noticed that one had a little, you don't want any of the skin off the garlic where it's showing like that. So that will get ground up with the rest of the garlic over there. And so I'm gonna show you next week what I do before I put these in the ground. I have a whole regimen that I kind of do with my garlic, and it worked really well. Last year we had a huge garlic harvest. The cloves were huge. So hopefully we can replicate that again this year. What we're gonna do with this is we're gonna grind this up, and I will show you. That's, we took off all the browned areas. There might be a couple pieces in there left, but so we're gonna grind all that up. We'll put a little olive oil in there, and I'll show you what else we're gonna do. Okay. Olive oil. I'm going to start by pulsing it. I'm just going to turn it on 1 for a while. There we go, we have minced garlic. You guys can either put it in a jar like we like to do, or you can freeze it. We do our own minced garlic. We love it, we use it a lot. Because when something's ready to use, you tend to use it more. So that's why we've done this. I'm gonna go ahead and use a scoop with these, put them on a tray, and then we're gonna freeze these ones. And then I'll put them in a baggie. So we're on it. And then I'm just gonna take this out. And then just to add a bowl to a recipe. Pretty close together. Probably take like 3 or 4 hours, and then we'll put it in a baggie, and we'll see you guys next time here on Hedgehog's Homestead. Bye.